Good morning, first graders. Today we're going to practice writing the letter A. So we call this penmanship. So we're going to practice on our whiteboards. I have my whiteboard right here. I want you to go grab this and an expo marker. And you might need a tissue, or if you have a small eraser you can use, you can grab that as well. Okay, so this week we're focusing on the letter A. Remember, A says A and A. We're going to practice writing some uppercase A's and then some lowercase A's. When we write uppercase A's, we're going to start at the top line, okay? And I call these highway lines because if you think of it, they kind of look like the lines as you're driving down the road, right? We have the two outer lines and in the middle dotted line. No letters in our alphabet ever start at the bottom. We either always start at the top or sometimes we'll start at the dotted line or the middle line. For uppercase A, we're going to start at the top. We're going to slant down and come all the way down to the bottom line. Pick up our pencil, or in this case, our pen. Go back to the top, slant down the opposite way, all the way down to the bottom line. Pick up our pen and cross in the middle of the dotted line. Okay, so one more time. Start at the top, slant down, come all the way to the bottom. Pick up your pen, go back to the top, slant the other way, all the way to the bottom. Pick up your pen and cross at the dotted line. So you'll often hear me say, make sure you're using your lines. So that means make sure that you're starting in the right spot, you're ending in the right spot, and that your letters are not floating. Here's an example of some letters that would float. If I was making the letter A, I'm starting at the top, the right spot, then I don't go all the way to the bottom, and I don't go all the way to the bottom. I do cross in the middle. My letter A right here is floating because it's not touching the bottom. So that would not be the correct way to write the letter A. For lowercase a's, we're going to start at the dotted line, the middle line. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to come around, connect, down to the bottom line and give it a tail. Again, start at the dotted line, come around to the bottom, up to the dotted line, trace back down and give it a tail. Notice I'm using my lines correctly. My letter A is not floating. I did not pick up my pencil for lowercase a. Start at the dotted line, come around, connect it, trace down, and give it a tail. Can someone tell me what's wrong with this letter A? That looks like a Q, and I picked up my pencil. So that's not the correct way to make a lowercase a. Remember, with uppercase a's, we do pick up our pencil. With lowercase a's, we don't. One more time, lowercase a, start the dotted line, touch the bottom, up to the top, trace back down, and give it a tail. Okay, so I want you to practice 10 really nice uppercase a's and 10 really nice lowercase a's. I want you to show your adult that you're home with your a's that you make on the whiteboard, and once they say that they think that you've done your best, then I want you to go in your white binder and I want you to find your penmanship page that looks like this. And with a pencil, I want you to trace the letter A's, uppercase A's on the top that are already there for you. Then I want you to do your own. Now let me show you something with this. I'm going to use a pen so you can see, but I want you to use a pencil on this just in case you make a mistake and you need to erase. So when you're writing your letters on this paper, make sure that your finger spacing in between your letters. Okay, otherwise if they're too close together, it'll be hard to read and it won't look like your best penmanship. So after you trace these A's, let's pretend I traced all those A's. Now it's my turn to make my own A's. I'm going to finger space, finger space, probably fit one more on that line. Okay, and then I'm going to fit about 4 more uppercase A's here. And then I'll move down to my lowercase a's and I'll do the same thing. After I trace these, I'll make my lowercase a's, make sure that I'm finger spacing so that they're not too close together. And I'll make my lowercase a's on this line and on this line. Don't forget to put your name on the top. Then take a picture, show me your finished work, and submit it on CSAC.